Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another video. I am Tanish Fortson, your favorite virtual embroidery coach. I am so happy that you guys are here. I think that you are going to love tonight's video because it is my favorite thing to make of all time. And you guys should know that it is blankets. I did get the majority of my start in blankets. I started off making bows, but then I quickly switched over to blankets because they were more profitable. So we're not going to be making a blanket from scratch. I did order these blankets off of Amazon. This is a 12-piece blanket order. This particular customer has ordered blankets for her employees, so I am more than happy to make them for her. So this blanket will be linked in my Amazon store. It is where I got it from, but it is a faux-sherpa blanket. It's double-sided. This is the faux-sherpa. And this is like faux fur. So side note, these blankets come in a air-filled bag, and when you open this bag, the blankets do not look like this. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this blanket looks so terrible. It looks like an animal died or something. But once you wash and air dry the blanket, it will look more like the picture. So I did inform the customer that I would be washing her blankets. She was okay with it. I told her the type of detergent that I will be using and that I'll only use a little bit, and that I would be air drying the blankets, not literally air drying like in the air, but I'm going to use the air dry feature on our dryer. So let's unbox all of these blankets, get them open, and take them downstairs to our laundry room. My main thing is not to cut the blanket. So I plan on finishing this order tonight, so it is going to be a very, very late night. It's already around 6 in the evening. I do have the files, the majority of them digitized. I did save one so that we can digitize it together. I am using a purchase font, and I will show you guys that once I get into the software. This is an example of how it looks when it's completely like airtight. The three that I took out, air had gotten into them, but it takes a while. Well, it actually just puffed right out, but let me show you guys. It just looks, I don't know. I was not liking how it was looking. I mean, this one looks okay. The first one that I opened, it just was a hot mess, and it's gonna take a few washes because these are pretty plush. And I'm just doing like a quick wash. I mean, I'm not cleaning. We're not trying to clean these blankets. So while these are, because I believe that drying will take the longest. So while these are drying, I will get my girls dinner and ready for bed. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna wash 6 at a time. No, so that's 5 because I already washed and dried one. So I'm gonna wash these 5, and then I'm going to wash the other 5. We don't need to unbox all of them, but let's head down to our laundry room. All right, we made it to the laundry room. I am just putting the towels in. I'm sorry, I am just putting the blankets in. Turn it on. I'm gonna do a speed wash because like I said, I'm not trying to clean. I'm gonna do 15 minutes. I'm gonna do a cold wash. Actually, let's see what the tag says. It says, wash with similar colors, do not bleach, tumble dry low, do not iron, do not dry clean. So there's no special instructions. So I'm gonna leave the settings as is. I'm gonna use some gain. I'm not gonna use too much. I'm gonna hit start. So the blanket did say tumble dry, but I think I'm still gonna air dry. Now, if I find that it's drying way too slow for air dry, I will put it on tumble dry. Okay, it is after 9 o'clock. I have really played myself with this one because I'm going to be up probably past midnight until like 1 or 1:30 because Each stitch out takes around 27 to 33 minutes. So yeah, I'm just going to tough it out. I have my coffee. I have my blankets washed and prepped. This took a little bit longer than I thought on the washing side. They dried extremely quick. So my dryer, I forgot to film the rest of it, but my dryer, I don't have a tumble dry, so I did use the air dry for about 10 minutes, and then I did an additional 10 minutes quick dry, but on very, very low heat. So they're nice and fluffy and they just feel heavenly. So I have my 12 names. I'm going to start out with the first two, and I'm just going to cross them off as I go. I have double and triple checked the spelling in my text messages, the spelling on my PayPal invoice, and the spelling in my software. So I did 3 spelling checks just to make sure and to cover myself. Okay, I had to get the configurations right because there is a tag. So I am doing this. This is 50 by 60 inches. So the length 60 inches, there's a tag on one side and there's an open corner on the other side. So I'm just putting it on the other side of the tag, and I'm doing it the long way, if you guys understand what I'm saying, because this is an adult blanket. So if you think about it from head to toe the long way, you're going to cover yourself the long way. Unless you're sharing, then it's going to be horizontal, but whatever. That I'm just like really overthinking the situation. I have the blanket on my mighty hoop. I have 2 pieces of tearaway stabilizer. I have the tip hanging off it's about 2 inches of hang. So I will measure every single one the exact same. I'm going to grab a piece of Solvay stabilizer. Now I hear that you're not supposed to use Solvay with knockdown stitches. However, I don't listen to that. I do what works best for me. This blanket is so plush and so thick. It's at least, I want to say 12 to 15 millimeter pile. That's pretty high. Do you guys see like all that? Like these are just stacked and stacked, like they're super plush. So anyhow, it has to go in upside down. Yeah, it can't go in this way because all that's gonna hang. So, all right, you guys. So only this part right here is going into the machine. All right, the blankets are a little heavy. So I did tuck them on the machine so it won't have that pull. Now let's get our next one hooped. 2 pieces of tearaway stabilizer, grab my blanket. So if this is the tag right here, I am going to hoop the other side. One of you guys asked about my fabric weight. I really don't need a fabric weight for this. It's not slippery as the Minky fabric, but these are from Amazon and they are linked in my Amazon embroidery essentials. This is going to hang down about 2 inches. We are going to smooth everything out back here. We are grabbing a piece of Solvay and we are hooping. So this is the normal way I will hoop. I'm turning it upside down. Oh, I do need to flip my design. Yeah, I will flip my design when I get over to the software portion. Let's go design this in the software. I did save one for us to do together. I want to show you really, really quickly how I set my names up for blankets. So I have what is this font called? It's called Hydrenia, and I'm using the 4-inch, okay? So I come over here to stitch, and since this is a purchase font, and since it's going to be on a blanket, I like to increase it in between 15 and 20% under density. So for this particular one, I'm going to bring the satin stitch to a 20% increase under density. Next, I already have the digitizing portion open, so I am going to select the name. I know that it's selected because when I look into the properties boxes, it's highlighted blue. I'm going to come right here to create an outline from stitches on page, and I'm going to click it. My outline is here, and I know that it's here because it's highlighted blue, and it's the second step. I want it to be the first step because these are going to be knockdown stitches. So I'm going to hit move earlier. So now the outline that we just created is the first step. So the only thing that we have to do now is create the actual knockdown stitches. Okay, so I'm going to come right here to the inflate objects. I'm going to click on it, and I already have the settings in my mind just because I've did it so many times, but you guys are going to choose your own settings. But for me, I like to inflate my blankets by 3.5 millimeters, and then the J and the E and the F, they have holes. So I'm not going to remove the holes or anything. I'm going to deflate the holes, meaning that the holes, I do not want them filled in with stitches. So I'm going to hit negative 3.0 millimeters, meaning that they are going to deflate in the hole section. So I wanted 3.0. There it is, 3.0. I'm going to hit OK, and this is how the outline stitch looks. So to take it a step further, when I click, it's out of order. We'll fix that in a minute. So if we look in the properties box, I can see that the holes are not connected to the actual outline. So I want to change that. I want to fix it. So for the ENNIFER, I'm going to hit select, and then I'm going to hit the outlines that are connected to those specific letters. So it may take your eyes a while to get used to working like this, but I know that the ENNIFER, I know that when I click this over here, this is the inside of the E. When I click this, this is the inside of the E. So I'm going to select all three, and I'm going to come up here to create outline, and I'm going to combine the holes. And when you look over here, you can see that the inner portions of the E are combined. So next we have the J, and then here are the two outlines, the inner portions of the J that are not connected. So I'm going to select all three, create, outline, combine holes, and now they are combined. Now this extra little dot right here is the eye, and what I'm going to do is they're overlapping. So I'm just going to move that a little bit and just make some slight adjustments so that it's not overlapping so much. Okay, and there we have it. So next we need to add the stitches now. So if you have Embrilliance enthusiasts, you can do automatic knockdown stitches. I'll have another video on that. But for right now, we are going to create our own knockdown stitches. This is my favorite way to do it. So I have selected the entire outline. I'm going to come over here to fill. Now, when I hit fill, since I have made this already 12 times, my fill should automatically fill in with the settings that I want. So I'm going to hit fill, and the stitches have filled in, and it looks the same as my other fill stitches. So Embrilliance will memorize things. So the knockdown stitch is going to be the color 1810. That's the thread that I will be using. I'm gonna hit go, and there we have it. So let's zoom in a little bit, and we have created our knockdown stitches. But let me guys show you the settings that I use for my knockdown stitch. I use a 30-point density. I use a travel edge. My ends are tied, and I use a contour and a perpendicular fill. The inset is at 0 and the density is set to 17. If you do need further instructions on digitizing, I do have a course. It is called Stitch by Stitch, and it is open for enrollment. Okay, I have both machines set up. The design is turned upside down. I have my presser foot on the highest setting, well, second to the highest, because these are pretty plush and thick. Active feed set to 11. I might change it to a 9. I'm not sure yet, because usually for Miki fabric, I have it set at like a 10, but I'm not sure. I've never embroidered on this fabric before. Praying everything goes well and everything looks well. I've did 1,000 blankets, but this fabric is new to me. If I do mess up, I got it from Amazon. It's just one click away, and I can, if needed, get it faster. Let's go. I'm gonna start with this one first. Woo, it's plush. I'm just making sure I'm using both of the same reds. I'm using a darker tone red. Oh man, number 16, I have the wrong color thread. I'm not sure what happened, but it was the wrong color. And they're black, so I can't leave it black because they're knockdown stitches. I'm off to a bad start. Okay, do not mind the mess, you guys. It's been so busy until I really can't even care at this point. I'm just using a seam ripper. Just as long as I get all this black out, I'm not gonna worry about the white bobbin on the back. The only problem that I'm noticing is that this little flap can get caught under there. So I'm gonna need to stay very close to my machine because that little flap keeps bunching. I don't know why I'm so nervous, because literally if I make a mistake, I can just reorder it from Amazon, but I'm literally like on edge right now. My anxiety is on 10. The knockdowns are looking fantastic. This one is off to a slow start, but it's going. We have, essentially, I really don't have much to do except, oh, actually, I can hoop the third blanket. I'm gonna do that right now, but everything is prepped. I'm gonna cross off the first two names because they're stitching. Next in line is Alice, so I'm gonna prep right now. So if you can find really good quality blankets, you can make a premium off of just doing holiday blankets. I think I'm gonna order a few extra more just to have in my shop and offer these as last minute gifts. They're so simple to make and they make really nice Christmas gifts. They have 2 other colors. So remember, you pull it down about 2 inches, you center it. I like to brush all of the fur in one direction. Grab a piece of Solvay. I need to check on my blankets and make sure nothing's jammed under. All right, it's hooped, perfect. All right, so both of my machines have stopped. This one started, I'm not sure, it's a bunch of thread on top. So top thread is usually feed, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna check everything out. But I think this one may have ran out of bobbin. Oh, the bobbin broke. I'm just gonna get a new bobbin. I'm actually going to take the blanket off because something more, no, there's nothing in there. However, I do have like 2 loose threads. And like I said, this is a purchase font. So I did not resize any. Did I resize? I may have made the font smaller. And that's the thing that I hate about purchase fonts. When you mess with it, it leaves you open for or susceptible for certain things like this. Like on the D, there's like a few loose threads, but I can see on the back where something is going on and then something happened right here. So that's really sad. My perfect embroidery is a little ruined. And like I said, if it looks like too bad, then I can always order another blanket because I did not test stitch any of these. So right now I'm just kind of cutting this nesting that's going on out, and I'm going to restitch. I'm gonna go back some stitches. Now let's thread the needle, and I'm gonna stand over it while it finishes up the T. All right. Bobbin case. Can't forget the bobbin case. So you guys won't believe me, but I have been embroidering for quite a bit, and I will be lying if I said I still did not get nervous and say a little prayer and cross my fingers and do a little, you know, I do the whole 9. So doesn't matter how professional you are, you still need to be cautious and extremely accurate. Okay, it looks good. So for that other one, if I would have caught it, then it probably would have been okay, but I did not catch it. All right, you guys, this one just finished, so I'll show you this one, but I found the culprit of that R. There was no more bobbin. I didn't even realize that it ran out. I just thought it was my machine being temperamental when I actually ran a bobbin, so that's why I was doing that. I'm still mad about the D. As to why my machine is still stitching when it's this much bobbin that's run out, I don't know. This is a lot of stitches to go back. And then when you're going back, you always want to make sure it overlaps. Your best bet would be to overlap a lot more than a little. All right, I think I'm in the right place. Make sure there's nothing under. All right. All right, this is perfect. Well, almost perfect, except for the D. But it looks so good. All right, let's get the next blanket on. All right, so just so that you guys see the pile up, I'm going to turn this. You guys see how high this fur is? This is at least like 15 millimeters. Anyways, I was trying to get the solvay out of there, but I think I'm gonna just spray it because it's not opening up properly. But right now I'm about to fix this D. So I'm just going to put this fray check on top, and then I'm gonna put the fray check on, and then I'm gonna sit something heavy so that this stitch lays down. And then I'm gonna cut the excess thread if it's hanging over too much. So let's grab my blanket. Beautiful. She's gonna be so happy. All right, we should have enough bobbin to get through this full design. I am going to stay up until everything is complete, so I may not be going to bed till like 2 a.m. So the next name is, I'm doing Allison, so we're on number 4, Cherisa, C-H-E-R. There's a Cherish and a Cherisa, so we're on Cherisa. Cherisa or Cherisha? I'm not sure how to say it. So anyways, we gotta flip the design 180 degrees. I'm gonna bring it towards the edge. I'm gonna hit OK. This is taking about 32 minutes. So each design is taking like 35 minutes. I'm gonna be up all night. I'm gonna go warm my coffee. All right, Allison has finished. Took 35 minutes. Beautiful. I'm so happy. This customer gave me free reign for the fonts and for the color and just pretty much for everything. When I kept asking her, she was like, I just leave that up to you. So I love that for me, and I couldn't have chosen a better color combination because I asked her if she wanted red or white. It won't pop as much. It'll be a little muted is what I was trying to explain. And she didn't want to make any decision. So she's like, you just pick the colors. And I love this color combination. The next name is Yanishka. It's crazy because my name is Tanish and it has the same letters as my name, except the T is replaced with a Y. Why am I not hooping these right? What is going on with me? I think I'm forgetting to flip this part right here upside down. Oh, this is just delaying the process. So hopefully I can get to bed by 2. Tomorrow, I just gotta get my kids to school. It's gonna be too cold in the morning to walk because I usually drop them off and I walk the trail just for you know, wellness, fitness, because having this kind of job, you don't get out and you don't move around enough. And I noticed like I was gaining a lot of weight. My health was starting to fail. So I make it my priority to kind of get out now. And it's just usually right after I drop my kids off to school. But I probably won't go tomorrow. But it's okay if I'm up late tonight because tomorrow is a editing day. I'm gonna edit the 2 YouTube videos and I'm gonna put up a whole bunch of new listings. It should be at least 10 listings up for you guys to purchase if you wanna purchase my designs. If needed, I can take a nap tomorrow if I'm too sluggish. And there is no shame in my game. I will take a nap in a minute. Sometimes that nap is needed because sometimes I will have crazy working hours just to finish a job, and this needs to get finished and shipped tomorrow. I don't have to, but I want it to because I got to go to the post office anyways, so I'd rather just drop everything off. All right, this should be hooped correctly. Make sure all of my brackets are tight. So I'm waiting for Melco to email me back about the extended warranty. They told me to respond by the end of October, but I forgot. So I may get the 3-year extended warranty. I need a technician to come out, and even if I don't get the warranty, I'm gonna have a technician come out and tune up my machines because like I said, it's been 3 years and maybe 4 cones, they're not stitching the best on this machine and 4 cones on this one as well. They're just not stitching their best. They still stitch, but I'll get like a lot of breaks and stuff. And I think it's because there's like a lot of stuff like caught inside these tubes, and I need my whole feed roller oiled and maintenance and all that. I just need a machine cleaning and everything to be oiled and in tip-top shape again. And it's not because I'm not doing something, but just like a car needs a tune-up, my machines, they need tune-ups. So anyways, we are ready to go. Red. All right. Let's start cleaning some of these blankets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 are done, 2 are on the machine, 1 is hooped over here. Let me grab my scissors. Okay, so let's cut the jump stitches while this still has the solvay on top. What I don't like about this font, now the seller, it's a beautiful font. However, if you use the 4-inch font, and by the way, this font is called Hydrenia. If you use the 4-inch font, just know that when the satin stitches get wide, they're gonna split in the middle. Whenever it goes back to the satin stitch without the split, my machine cuts the thread and starts again. However, it's not tied. So I have these random loose threads. So it's really irritating. So I'm gonna burn the back, hit it with my lighter on the back side, but when I see one, I will show you guys an example. And for the inside, I'm just gonna spray this with solvay. I'm gonna saturate it because I really couldn't get the solvay out, and I'm just gonna let it disintegrate. So this one didn't do it so bad with those like stitches. So these are knockdown stitches, so I am being careful of how I tear this, just taking my time, and I'm not trying to rip anything. I don't know about actually going over this with the lighter because I don't want to burn like the Sherpa part, but this is how the back looks. I'm trying to look for one with a random piece of thread showing. So if you look inside the A right here, it's doing the split stitch and then it goes back to the full length satin stitch. However, my machine just continues and it always brings up this piece of thread. So it happened throughout the blanket. I don't like how the blanket was looking after I sprayed it. It looks like slimy or something, gooey. Anyways, I'm gonna see how it looks when it dries. I'm just gonna do my best to pull all the solvay off. One of the blankets just finished, so let me go replace it. So I'm just kind of being gentle and tearing the tearaway off. One thing, you wanna make sure your stitches look good if your back is gonna be exposed. You don't want it to look like your blanket has been caught in a railroad accident or something. So just be mindful of that. I think I just kind of ripped out a little bit of fabric. So from now on, if I'm going in the inside, I'm going to use my seam ripper to break inside to get the tearaway off. Beautiful though, beautiful. All right, this one has finished. I have 4 more blankets to do, but it's 12:03 a.m. I'm not going to make it. I am exhausted, but not only am I exhausted, my back and my neck is hurting way too bad for me to continue. I know from experience, if I keep working, it'll take me out the rest of the week and I can end up with a migraine or something like that. So I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do my neck exercises to kind of combat all the reaching and pulling and bending. And then I'm gonna finish these 4. This one has 12 minutes, so I'm gonna clean this one up and then I am shutting it down and going to bed because I know how to stop when I'm ahead now. All right, we're on day 2 of finishing up these blankets. The good thing is that I only have 4 more to do, so I'm gonna knock these out really quickly before my kids get home. My husband is picking them up from school right now. So I'm just waiting for my software to load and I'm going to get the last 4 names pulled up. So in the video before this one, if you have not caught it yet, go back and watch that. I am showing you guys how I make some of my Christmas designs. The files are available for purchase as well as the actual sweatshirt. This is our Christmas tree snow globe design and it is so cute. And yesterday I forgot to mention it, but I was wearing our shoulder bow sweatshirt and I adorned it with rhinestones because blinging is my thing. So all of the designs from my previous video are available for purchase. All of that will be linked in the description below. Let's get these blankets to the machine and let's get the names pulled up. All right, I have my designs loaded. I am just going to check the bobbin. This should be enough to finish this design. And I'm gonna put a little bit of, I'm gonna blow it and then just put a little drop of oil. Both of these designs are taking 30 minutes. And then we will do our last two to complete this order. This was such a fun order. I love blanket orders. Oh, these blankets are a little heavy, so just putting this fabric underneath to combat some of the weight. I have been trying to put up 2 videos a week with the holidays fastly approaching. So this is the time that we want to market our embroidery business the most and try to maximize on the economy and the situation. I know you guys are probably hearing all about how, you know, we're not shopping for Black Friday or anything like that. That's not everybody. I have seen an increase in my sales all around, an increase in inquiries and everything. So do not believe everything that you hear on the internet because people are still shopping. I truly believe people aren't shopping as much for toys and stuff. So we want to take advantage of that and offer our custom items. We're just going to be putting our best foot forward, making our custom listings. If you make quilts and memory bears and like custom stuffies and stuff like that, I think those things will do very well this holiday season with the state of the economy. So run your Black Friday sales. And by the way, one of my Black Friday sales will be on all of my courses. So if you guys are interested in getting started in embroidery, I am having a huge sale for Black Friday. Stay tuned for that. All of my courses will be on sale at a very good price. And I'm also adding a newer course. It's going to be a mini course, so the price point will be very good for you guys, especially for those who are trying to save their coins. So be on the lookout for that as well. So I still have my same settings from last night. So the only thing that I need to do is hit go for both machines. So we are going to get another blanket hoop. Smooth it out, grab your solvay, put it on top, double check to make sure everything is even. Get your top, you're gonna turn it upside down. Push it because the blanket is very plush. Make sure it's in there good. Now we're just gonna wait for those 2 designs to finish up and we only have 1 more. I'm gonna take some video for Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Okay, so I don't know if I showed you guys yesterday, but I got this new thin sequins in and I got it from New Fabrics Daily on Etsy. And these are the 2 golds that I got. And let's compare it to my thick velvet sequin. Okay, here's the thicker velvety ones. So this is the red. So let's just put them side by side. But you can get a very similar look using this if your machine does not take this. All right, here's 2 different golds. And then here's the 2 other golds. So I'm gonna be doing some fun project with these. All right, and so one of my biggest requests has been to make the remaining sports sign or the sports balls just like this go, but for all the other sports. So this is going to be baseball and soccer using the white sequence. I have the basketball sequence and the tennis sequence. Soccer, softball, baseball, tennis, basketball, And I can't think of any other sports. So let me know any other sports if I have left some out. That way I can do the go with each ball. All right, so I finally finished embroidering everything. All 12 blankets are complete, and I will be back later tonight after I make dinner, give the kids a bath, and put them to bed to clean and box everything up for shipment. All right, you guys, this video has come to an end. It is very much so later in the night, and I had to do all the mom things, cook dinner, give my kids a bath, tuck them in, read stories and all that. So I am exhausted once again, and I just wanted to show you guys how I am bagging up this order. I am basically, these are Christmas gifts for my customers' employees. So I am basically, in a sense, gift wrapping them for her. So the only thing she has to do is put them in a bag and distribute them to her employees. But I don't know, I have 2 of these big, larger Amazon boxes, and it's not gonna work. These blankets are so plush and so thick and so beautiful. I don't know how I'm going to work out shipping. I knew that I undercharged for shipping, but you know, it's a learning experience. I will get better at pricing shipping for larger items like this. But remember, when I got these, they came airtight in a very small box. I had no idea they would expand this much, but they're so beautiful. So anyhow, I am going to work out the boxing situation. I might suck all of the air out of these bags and then put a piece of tape around it so that no air seeps out, just enough for me to box these up. That's really the only thing that I can think of. But anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions about this whole entire process. Blanket making is my all-time favorite thing or items to make. They're just so simple, so fun, and so easy for me. You guys know that this is what I started off doing. If you found this video helpful, do not forget to like and subscribe. Do not forget about all the Black Friday sales that I'm having on my courses. And do not forget about my community, which is called Embroidery Mastery. So I will see you guys in the next video. I am producing 2 videos a week. For the most part, I'm trying to. If I miss a Sunday video, do not jump down my throat. I am literally trying my best. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.